From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The name's Duke Nukem, and you're watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. I don't know why, but you are.
What's going on, nerds, and welcome to this week's episode of the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. We're talking about the live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch. Honestly, this is probably one of the best turnaround times we've done for an episode when we don't do it completely right afterwards, which we did. If you want our spoiler warning 6-minute video, that's also there, so go check that out as well. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow, do all that wonderful stuff. Hi, Susie.
Hi, AJ.
How art thou?
I am doing much better.
You are existing for what it sounded like before we went live.
Oh. Have kids, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Do I want a second one? Yes. Yes, I do. Am I psychotic? Yes. Yes, I am. But oh my God, when they hit the 1.5-year stage, heaven help me.
They can't. I don't think they can. No, I don't think anybody can really help you at this
kid
point.
is, her teeth have got to be bothering her. She's going through a growth spurt, like just everything. My wonderful kid that went down so nicely has not gone down nicely in the last week.
So let's get right into it. Lilo and Stitch 2025. As everybody knows, came out last week, right before Memorial Day, was able to utilize the extra day for box office, so they get a 4-day box office instead of the normal 3-day box office. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No, wait. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yep.
It's a quick movie. It's 108 minutes. It had a budget of right around $100 million and already has brought home $421.5 million. So monetarily, it's a success.
I would like to point out something.
Yes.
That I got to wonderfully see, and you can double check my facts here. This has outperformed Thunderbolts.
Yes. But Thunderbolts has better reviews.
But I understand why Thunderbolts have. Okay, I was just comparing the money. You went to reviews, which that's comparing apples and oranges.
But yeah, it is 100%. Thunderbolts is considered an absolute flop by Marvel. This is considered, let's do it again. Another reason why they keep doing these live action remakes is this. There is an audience for it, as I think a lot of us, to a point myself included, are kind of sick of the live action remakes.
I could pass. I was really excited to see them do Lilo and Stitch, but again, I was excited up until they did Lion King. Lion King ruined it for me.
Lion King.
Lion King ruined it for me. Because I liked Aladdin, I liked Jungle Book. I've liked the ones that they put out.
Cinderella I thought was great.
Cinderella was
Beast,
fantastic.
I thought was really good.
Yeah. But Lion King ruined live action remakes for me. So I was hesitant going into Lilo and Stitch. And then hearing all the negative reviews about Snow White and all the backlash that's caused, I was like, now I'm even more hesitant. So could I do without live actions? Yes. Do I think this one was risky and well deserving of a live action? 100%.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And a little more of a breakdown of how it's doing money wise. 207.9 million in just the US and Canada alone so far, and then 213 million in the other territories and worldwide. So it's making and
Mhm.
it hasn't been out for a full week yet. That number is just going to continue to go. I'm curious to see this weekend the drop, because a normal from opening to second weekend is roughly around 30 something percent. I'm really curious if it's going to be more severe of a drop off with everything we're hearing from them, because there's a lot of negative press along with this movie. There, and I understand some of it, Susie. I know you'll touch upon it a little bit too. People are pissed that there's no Gantu. People are pretty upset that they made Jumba the bad guy.
So actually, to kind of touch on that, a lot of it had to do with politics. And there should be a statement that is circulating around from Bob Iger, or one of the other reps from Disney, which basically said keep politics out of the movies.
Which
And
I'm fine with that.
that's a lot of what happened in Lilo and Stitch is the politics found their way into the movies. It's partially why we didn't see Pleakley in drag. It's partially why, um, we really didn't see Gantu. There was more to it for Gantu. I don't think Gantu was political, but I think if
I
you
think it was
look,
drawing him in CGI was
it's
a huge issue.
drawing him in CGI, animating him, everything else. Like it was more. I don't think it would have benefited the movie. I think it would have hurt the movie. Um, but depending on how you look at it, Gantu could be seen as a political move to keep him out of it,
Mm.
because with all of the cop drama and everything else going on, okay, I can get kind of behind that one. I can get behind the Pleakley and the drag, given our current political state. Um, but there's a lot of things that are going on that um we now have the problem of politics are being drawn into our movies, and you can't really do that with a story that went from animation where the climate was completely different than you're talking about a 13 20 23-year age gap between 2002 when the movie first came out and 2025. Like that's a huge difference. The politics are different, the climate is different, like it's just everything is different. You
See,
can't
I didn't
you
even
can't
think
take a
of
2000
politics.
you can't
It
again, I've been reading, I've been watching different things, and I maintain my opinion of this movie, but I do understand and respect other people's perspectives of this movie. And once the politics were pointed out, I was like, oh, well, that was kind of dumb of them. Okay. Did it hurt my opinion of the movie? No.
honestly, what I thought of No Gantu, Pleakley not in drag, and the way they use both Pleakley and Jumba
Hmm.
were basically they're gonna be a pain in the ass to CGI them the whole movie. What can we do for a little bit cheaper? Well, we'll just turn them in to Zach Galifianakis and Billy.
Don't ask me. I don't know.
I can't remember his last name. Um, but honestly, it still worked for me that they
Hmm.
weren't their alien forms the whole time. Um, but I think that was more of the reason. I didn't even think of the politics stuff with it at all. But Mia Kaialoa or Maria Kaialoa, I have the name here. It's a Hawaiian name, so
He apologizes in advance for him butchering it.
it's the girl who played Lilo.
Yes.
Fantastic, perfect
Hmm.
casting. Thank you very much. She was perfect as Lilo.
So she was perfect as Lilo. I loved the actress they got for Nani. And there's a lot of backlash for that one because she's not Hawaiian. And I use Hawaiian in air quotes because she grew up on Hawaii. Like she grew up knowing the culture, knowing the traditions and everything else. At least that's my understanding of her as a person, is that she grew up on Hawaii. Now, she may not be native Hawaiian, meaning that she was born there, and everything else, but that I feel like that could they have selected somebody better for the role? Yes, but I think they selected the best person, if that makes any sense. Like, I can't imagine somebody else fulfilling this role. I can't tell if you're doing research under.
Yeah, I am. But no, she was what you'd expect from Nani.
Mhm.
The one thing that I'm, I don't want to say happy that they did, um, but what I understand why they did it, where once everything's over and done with, there's still an issue with Nani being the guardian of Lilo, unlike the animation where they just swipe that completely under the rug. So I'm happy that they actually touched on that, and you kind of see the ramifications on that. But Suze, this, for what you mentioned last Friday night, is your favorite remake?
Yes, this is above and beyond my favorite remake. Now, understand that I have loved Lilo and Stitch since the day it came out. It is my favorite story. It is I almost live, I can't say that I live by, but I love the concept of Ohana.
Mm,
Now this is there's a lot of negative feedback because Ohana, they didn't change the meaning of Ohana, they expanded it. And I think for the most part, um, there's a lot of things that are being said, being changed, and everything else. But again, politics.
yeah.
Um, one of the things that I love about this is the fact that, one of the things that I didn't like is that I felt like Nani in the animated, the only thing she did was work and take care of her sister. There wasn't really anything for her. Um, she refused to get into a relationship with David because she had to take care of Lilo. Um, she had to, be careful of her hours because she had to take care of Lilo. Um, like, there's different, and she had no support. Understand that in the 2002 animated version, up until the ending, she didn't have support. And also, Jumbo and Pleakley got abandoned on the island. Where the heck else are they supposed to go except for, become a family with
Yeah.
Lilo and Nani? Like, the Galactic Empire abandoned them there. That's why I love the ending of this one so much, is because Pleakley, I'll watch over them. I'm good. I'm good. I'll stay here.
So does Cobra.
So does Cobra. Like, they become integrated as part of the family. Nani still checks in with Lilo. One of the things that I saw is that since Nani was going for marine biology, she could have gotten an intern. She could have gone to school on Hawaii for marine biology. What if she didn't want to? What if that wasn't what she wanted to do? And I think that's why I love the concept of Ohana in this one, is that they expanded it. It's not just Ohana means family. Family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. It's not that, AJ's part of my family. I'm not going to leave him behind, but I can't forget about myself.
Yeah.
Myself is included in the no one gets left behind. And I think that was a crucial piece that needed to be added.
And people were crucifying the movie on that.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I actually agree with you with that statement. My thing is her neighbor and David, along with Bubbles and Pleakley, are they looking after Lilo, or is Lilo in basically foster care looking for her forever home.
No, so the way they set it, the way I understand that they set it up is originally she was going into foster care, but she is with her like adoptive family.
Mm-hmm.
Tutu and David took her in, so did Cobra and Pleakley. So Lilo's still staying in her room under the supervision of Cobra and Pleakley. Tutu and David, I think, are still in the neighboring house. But she has people around her to support her, make sure she gets to school, gets to hula, gets to everything she needs to go to. And Nani has the portal gun. She can visit whenever she wants.
Yeah. So, with that being the case, and with how this movie has been received and how much money it has made, do we see Stitch as a glitch, or do you think this is it? This is the end of the line for the Lilo and Stitch live action.
I don't see. This is the same problem that I have with Aladdin. Can I see them doing a sequel? Yes. Do I think it would be the same or close to the same sequel as we had in animated? No. Kind of like Aladdin, I don't see Return of Jafar being similar to the Return of Jafar we got in animated. Stitch has a glitch. There's no way. We've made Jumba the villain. Like, there's going to be some differences. There's going to be a whole lot of changes. Would I love to see it? 100%. I think that would be fantastic. But I'd also love to see more of Stitch's cousins, even if they picked like 3. Reuben, Angel, and pick one more. But if you pick
Leroy.
pick Leroy. We do Leroy and Stitch. That to me, Jumba escapes. Jumba escapes, makes Leroy. Now we have Leroy and Stitch. Now we invest in all the cousins, get them all good, and go at him. You know, I'd love a sequel, but I don't see how they would totally do a sequel for Stitch Has a Glitch.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they'd have to change it. But no, and the negative feedback that I've seen on this has a lot to do with the Ohana, has a lot to do with Nani abandoning Lilo. And I honestly think it has to do with how you perceive the movie. My perception of the movie, she didn't abandon Lilo. She took the next steps to be able to provide and support Lilo. And sometimes that's making tough decisions. I have a kid. I would do anything for her, but if it meant putting her with my parents for me to get the support or for me to get an education, I'd 100% do that.
And I think down the road your daughter would understand.
Yeah, and I don't feel like that's me abandoning my daughter. Will I feel it? 100%, but knowing that I can see her whenever I want, knowing that I still have access to her, I think that changes that story a little bit.
All right, Suze. I enjoyed the movie. You enjoyed the movie. Everybody, give it a watch, whether you watch it in theaters or on Disney Plus in 3 or 4 months. It's an easy watch. I enjoyed it. She enjoyed it. It looks like most of the internet did with it sitting at, I think, like a 71 Rotten Tomato score. Let's hear your thoughts.
The biggest thing I will say is, do not walk into this movie and think that it is a copy and paste version of the 2002.
No, they did not Lion King it.
100% it is not. They definitely changed the story in a lot of aspects. And if you don't sit there and compare them, it's a good movie that stands really good on its own.
Yeah. Obviously, it's going to be nature to try to compare it to the animation.
Mm-hmm.
Go in there as best you can to just watch a fun movie, and you'll have a fun time with it. Just click. Because that's what I tried to do when we went to go see it. I did my best throughout the movie to this is the first time I'm watching this. It's the best way to put it. And if anybody wants to go back and watch our immediate thoughts on the movie, I think it's our last uploaded video before this, so go check that out. Susie, you got anything else?
No, I mean, take your kids to go see it. I would love to see a new generation be
When they're not
introduced to
crying.
Stitch. Oh my god.
Or ants in their pants, or
My daughter had ants in her pants. We sat through 45 minutes of the movie, and thank God I had seen it the night before with AJ and Jess, because otherwise I would have been one very upset mama. I love Stitch with all of my heart. I would have been very upset, but I was really glad that I was able to introduce her to the movies. It was her first movie, so I'm okay with her having ants in the pants. And even my parents and my husband had nothing bad to say about it. They all enjoyed the movie. So,
all right, everybody. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We will talk to you next week when we do Stitch Has a Glitch. Itch. AJ got glitch.
well, considering the fact that you're wearing the wrong shirt, you definitely have a glitch.
All right. It was the one I put on. It's clean. just, it's clean. But take care, everybody.
You didn't think I was going to notice, did you?
I'm not gonna. Bye.
Bye.